Do you know the feeling of never being able to work hard in your life for most of your life? You sort of feel like a loser, you feel really weak, you feel like a failure, and you feel shameful, you feel guilty. Seeing your parents work all day, seeing your parents sacrifice their fun, their life for you, and you're just here doing absolutely nothing. And because of that, they cannot rely on you to get anything finished. They don't really trust you, and that's why they're so overprotective over you, which is crazy because like you tell them like, oh mama, like I'm older now, I can go outside by myself, you know, you don't need to be so overprotective. We want them to understand the fact that we're older, but yet they still see us as little children. And it took me so long to figure out the reason, the deep reason why this was happening. I really didn't know why. But when I realized the reason of me being treated like a child despite me being 18 years old at the time was the fact that we still act like children without us realizing. And it comes out, and that's why they don't really trust us yet, because they don't see us as older. We think we're so much older than we are. We think we're so much more attractive than we are. We think we're so much better than we are. But if you get a second eye and you let them analyze you, you realize we're not really that guy. We are not that person. Despite us thinking we're older, we're more mature, we are not. And we never realize when our inner child comes out. How many Muslims in this ummah right now that are the ages of 20 to 30 years old still addicted to video games, that are still addicted to TikTok, that are addicted to Instagram, addicted to haram videos, that's addicted to dopamine, addicted to trash foods, just addicted to laziness and comfort? How many of us are struggling with this? And then you realize why your parents and my parents can't take us seriously? Okay, come on. This is the reason why. Because all of these things I just mentioned is our inner child coming out. Every single time we procrastinate, every single time we don't feel like doing our work and we choose play instead and we choose fun instead, that is our inner child coming out. What brings maturity is someone who can look at his emotions in a very analytical point and says, no. When you see maturity in someone, you see capability, you see confidence, you see competence, you see him being able to complete the task that you might give him. That is what brings about maturity. When someone is serious about his life, when someone isn't playing, that's what brings maturity. When someone is mature, they know the deep wisdom behind things. And this is why I'm so against scrolling. Like I'm not really for video games. Even if you play sometimes, I'm not really for it as much because of the fact that, let's be honest, we're Muslims. We have a bigger purpose, a bigger goal, something bigger to dream of, something bigger to get. We have Allah to worship. We're Allah's slaves. Like this comes with status, this comes with a purpose. So us sitting down and scrolling for TikTok for 5 hours a day, this is not what a Muslim is supposed to do, and yet all of us are doing this. And yet the entire ummah seems like we're so weak. Despite having the most technology, despite having the most access to water, food, the most basic of necessities, so survival for most of us, alhamdulillah, despite being given everything, yet we're still the most weak, because comfort is the killer of a man. And we became the ummah which is the most comfortable ummah has ever been in history. Don't we feel shameful that we should be doing better? Don't we feel shameful that we should be waking up and working towards something big? Don't we feel shameful for destroying and wasting our days? Destroying or wasting our Ramadans? Don't we feel guilty? Don't you want to achieve more? Don't you think that if you achieve more, if I achieve more, if this Muslim achieves more, if this sister achieves more, if this brother achieves more, don't you think that the ummah will get so much stronger? If we just look in ourselves, if you look in yourself and you look at yourself and you tell yourself, no, I'm meant for more, I can achieve more, I'm a Muslim. And this is why it's about time for me and you, for both of us to mature. Right now, you want to improve, you're pumped up, but you don't know where to go, feel stuck. The reason why most of us feel stuck is because of the fact that we are stuck in our bad habits. When you're stuck in bad habits, despite you wanting to improve, it feels like a barrier from where you can be. A bad habit always stops you from where you want to be. if you want to be in physically very, very good shape, well, eating bad food is going to stop you from achieving that. If you want to be productive on your school and make sure you get so much work done, scrolling on Instagram and having access to these social medias will stop that. So what we need to do is we need to release the past. Right now, you should not be looking anywhere forward. Even though you see me, you see many people, we have, done something, alhamdulillah, but first of all, we haven't done much. And number two, you cannot be comparing yourself and looking at others, because what they did when they were in your situation was release the past. What you need to do is you need to look at yourself and release that kid version of yourself that's within you right now. There is a childlike version of yourself that's within you right now that all he wants to do is play and have fun and just do as many bad habits as possible because it's the most fun at the beginning. Like, he would love to play 10 hours of video games. He would love to eat this many donuts and ice cream, and you know what I'm saying? There is a childlike version in all of us, but there is a childlike version within yourself that's taking precedence, that's more important right now than your adult-like version, than your grown-up-like version. So what you need to do is you need to release the past. You need to look at your childlike version and tell yourself, now it's time for me to grow up. Now it's time for me to come out of my shell. Now it's time for me to focus on my future self. I've had enough fun. I've had enough pleasure. I've had enough time with these video games, with scrolling, with Instagram. Now I need to focus on me. Literally, imagine if these were bad habits around your face. What you need to do is you need to grab them and tell yourself, not anymore. Pull it out. Grab them, pull it out. Grab them, pull it out. Pull these things out of your head. Then you'll be left with a clean slate, with a white canvas that now you can start painting on by adding the good habits. So how do you let go of your past self? Well, it's in the name. You make that decision to quit, right? You make the decision to quit. And then once you've let go, you've deleted your Instagram, you've maybe thrown away your controller. You don't even have access to it. Maybe you've deleted your games, you've deleted your accounts. You're like, I'm tired. You're like, you make the decision, right? You got rid of it. Then, in order to move forward, you need to know exactly where you need to go. Let's say you go to a clothing store, okay? And you walk into the clothing store. Are you going to buy every single piece of cloth that's in the store? That you're gonna look around. Are you gonna buy everything? Probably not. You're not gonna buy every single thing that's here because first of all, they're not gonna fit you. Second of all, there's other gender clothing. What the heck? And third of all, you're gonna buy what you wanna buy. You're gonna go and you're gonna buy exactly what you wanna buy, because what you buy, the type of clothing that you wear, represents who you are. Many people, they like wearing more sporty clothing. They like wearing athletic clothing. They like wearing stuff that's gonna make them feel more athletic because they probably like that stuff. They like being an athlete. They like running. They like playing football, gym, whatever. Some people like dressing super smart and classy because that represents them, and they like being a more classy version, more rich, whatever. So you buy clothes based off how you want to be perceived. And how you want to be perceived is like that character, how people see you. What kind of character do they see you as? It's like a video game, it's like a movie. You get to choose what kind of character you want to be. And so this is why with the mission of this channel and this entire brand of the Warriors of Allah, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get Muslims to self-improve, to be high achieving Muslims. So you need to know exactly what kind of person you're trying to be. Since you've deleted these habits away from you, now you need to look at yourself and be like, okay, what do I want to really focus on? What can I do? What are my flaws? Am I making money right now? Not really. Am I really on my deen right now? Not really. Am I really focusing on seeking knowledge? Not really. Okay, so you look at your flaws and you choose, okay, maybe I want to be a student of knowledge. Okay, that's number one. Maybe I want to be someone who's really fit in the gym. Maybe I want to be someone who's just happy in life, who's living a good, routine, balanced life. But once you figure that out, then you realize, okay, I'm a type of person who doesn't need to scroll from the moment I wake up from bed. I'm a type of person who doesn't need to be watching TV shows and playing video games for 24 hours a day. I'm a person who wakes up, who prays his salah, who does his good deeds, who works on a business, who works on his physical goals, who works on expanding his mind by reading and seeking knowledge, who works on his deen, getting closer to Allah and making sure that he is set up for Jannah. This is the type of Muslim that we're all trying to build with this brand, with this movement. Muslims who are role models for society. Inshallah, it's gonna happen. Imagine you're going into a street and we have so many different lanes. You have so many different avenues. You're walking and this goes somewhere else, this goes this way, this goes another way. Think of your life like that. think of your life like different avenues that you can explore. Imagine playing a game and the map of that game is all grayed out. It's grayed out, and you need to physically go to that place in the game to make sure that to unlock that place of the map. Your life is like that. Your life should be compromised of expanding this map of life, expanding this gray zone of life to make sure that you really squeeze life to the fullest. When you squeeze a lemon and you have the last drips coming down, this should be our life, trying to make sure that we really appreciate the world that Allah has created for us, to really maximize the experience here, not in a dunya sense, but in a way where we're growing. And it's going to help us in the akhirah. So your life should be like avenue. Choose 1 to 2 avenues to focus on at one time. If you want to focus on your physical goals, boom, get that done out the way. But one thing that I will always recommend is always have seeking knowledge as a primary source as well. So if you want to focus on the gym, but with that you need to be seeking your knowledge in Islam. What I've noticed is that the biggest differentiator between a regular Abdullah versus a good mu'min, a good believer, is the fact that there is a difference of knowledge. Knowledge is your level as a Muslim. The more knowledge you have, the more ability and the chance you have to enter Jannah. Because the more knowledge, the better your salah is. The more knowledge you have, the better your dua is. The more knowledge you have, the better your wudu is. The more knowledge you have, the more you give sadaqah. The more knowledge you have, the more you trust Allah. The more knowledge you have, you are a better Muslim because of that knowledge. I know most of us go to Tarawih for 2 reasons. The first reason is because our parents made us go there and we have to pray at Tarawih. Or number 2, may Allah forgive us, but those who go there to spy on the other gender, and you know what I'm talking about. Don't lie to me, bro, don't lie to me. But every time we pray Tarawih, it feels like there's no connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. It feels like I'm just praying my salah. But that is the issue. The moment I sought more knowledge, the more better, alhamdulillah, as a Muslim that I've gotten, right? And now what that turned into is what every time I go to Tarawih, imagine praying Tarawih, but you're going there on a purpose, like for a purpose. You're going there because I want to worship Allah. Most of us go to Tarawih because our parents made us go there. Imagine going to Tarawih by yourself because you make the conscious decision to, I want to worship Allah. I want to seek His forgiveness. I want to worship Allah. I want to enter Jannah. That only comes from seeking knowledge, because then you realize what the importance of praying salah is. You realize what the importance of being a Muslim is. If you're stuck right now, seeking knowledge is number 1. And number 2, I will always recommend focus on your physical goals. Get that out the way, because you don't realize the amount of value that comes from having a good physique where you're both strong, physically attractive, and physically in shape. I'm telling you right now, it's the starting point for many people, even the non-Muslims, to improve themselves because of the fact that there is so much upside and there is not much friction. It's not the same as starting a business. It's not the same as making a multi-million-dollar app. Focusing on your physical goals is so much easier at the beginning as well, but there is still so much value. The fact that people look at you, the fact that people will respect you, the fact that people will hold you to a certain respect when they'll talk to you, like there is so much of a big value by having your physical shape and looking really good in life. When you go to a job opportunity, when you go to a meeting and they see someone who's physically in shape, who's taking care of himself, this is scientifically backed. This is scientifically backed by the halo effect. The halo effect is when you look at a person, he's good looking, he's in shape, you will assume other good things about him. Take that in. When you look at a person and you see him in good shape, you will assume other good things about his life. You will assume him to be a good person. You will it's crazy. So having a good physical shape not only makes you so much more confident, and you become a role model for the younger Muslims to becoming more high achieving. Like there's so much upside. So focus on your goals. Focus on the fact that you have to seek knowledge as your level as a Muslim, because that's our only purpose as a Muslim, truly our main purpose. Number 2, make sure you're getting in physical shape, not just the fact that to be arrogant, astaghfirullah, because of the value that comes with that, because of the fact that it can even benefit your deen, it can even benefit your akhirah if you have that niyyah, right? Because I'm telling you right now, the easiest, fastest way to get more mature is to dedicate yourself to building your body, bro. When your parents see you in 6 months, they're like, Dad, what happened to you, bro? Have you been working out? Like, what's that? Like, you know, like when your cousins look at you and they're like, damn, yo, what the heck? Why your arms look bigger? Like, this small bits of stuff, they will start to perceive you as more mature. if I handed you $1,000,000 right now, would you waste it? Of course you said no, but your life is worth way more than $1,000,000, bro. And you don't even realize that, and you don't even notice that your life is worth more than $1,000,000. You don't need more money. You need to make more experiences. This is something that I wish I did more. But your life is experiences that are built up. All our lives are, it's just small bits of memories that add up together, and we just remember them from the past. It's just memories. It's just time. Life is just time. It's just small bits of time that add up together, and until we die, right? Pretty much. And so you need to extract as many experiences as you physically can within the halal, within what is correct, and you need to try getting more experiences. Like, most of us are so socially awkward. We cannot talk with people in public. We're not confident. The way we speak, that's number one. Go talk to people. And I know that's the hardest bit, but you need experiences. You need to talk with a lot of different types of people to learn about different types of people. I'm telling you right now, being interesting and having weird and certain experiences is worth $1,000,000. It's worth so much money. Because you can have this one crazy experience that someone else will probably not go through, and you can explain that to them, and you can give them this movie, this experience. Not only that, but if this one experience changed your life, people will pay you to extract the lessons from this experience. You might think, oh, my life isn't interesting. My life isn't that interesting yet. You're watching me talk about the fact that I was one spoiled 18-year-old who didn't do anything in his life. Many other people went through the same thing as me, and alhamdulillah, I was the one to talk about it, right? Your life is more interesting than you think, because you are the only one who went through your own situation that no one else went through. You are the only one that went through a situation with your own thoughts that no one else had thought. And so you're so much more unique and more interesting than you understand. You just need to extract the lessons from that. I can give you so many lessons from me playing video games. Most of the world, of the ummah, we all play video games. We all, or maybe some of us stop, alhamdulillah, but some of us still play a lot of video games. They don't think of it as a big deal. I used to play a lot of video games, and I can give you so many lessons from playing video games. So many lessons. Life lessons that people pay for. I'm not even kidding. So make sure that you derive certain lessons and get more experience. Like, if you're in university, talk with other Muslim brothers. Just talk with them. Just see where they are. Like, just see like what kind of things they talk about, what kind of things they like. Like, I know it's hard, but this is what differentiates us from being like a regular Abdullah to a strong mu'min, inshallah ta'ala. But these are my few tips I want to give to you. If you're 13 to 18 years old right now, if you just focus on these, I hope with the permission of Allah, your life will completely change and completely shift. And you don't know what your future is holding you. Like, you don't know how bright that future is. And so all you can do right now is to take action right now by this second. By this second. I'm saying take action right now. I mean, if you want to not take action, that's up to you. By the way, if you need personal one-to-one help from me directly, if you want 2 times your productivity, you want to reduce your haram habits, your haram videos, and all this stuff, go in the description down below to apply for a call. Other than that, I love you for the sake of Allah, and I'll see you in the next video.